Hi guys, Righteous Rhema, Dr. Quinn, back again with another video. This video is entitled, The Price is the Price, Goodbye. The price is the price, goodbye. A quote I want to add to that is, you are allowed to change the price of what it costs to access you. Did you know that? You're allowed to change the price of what it costs to access you. Even if the price was free 99 for the past 20 years, you can change your mind today. Did you know that? You can change your mind today. This very minute, you can change the price of what it costs to access you, okay? This video is for those of you who have a hard time setting boundaries. You may be codependent, you may be a people pleaser, and you have a hard time setting limits around how much you're going to give, okay? Now, the givers must have limits because the takers don't have any, okay? You got to have your limits because takers will take every single thing that you have. You got to say, hey, one per family, one per individual, one a day, because people will take advantage of you, okay, when you're a giver, all right? So, I'm going to read from some of my notes here. If you're a big giver, I want you to consider these things. The first thing I want you to consider is, what are you willing to offer at this moment? What are you giving at this moment? What service, what product are you willing to give in this moment? And I need you to decide, like, I'm not giving anything more than this right here. Now, you can change your mind, from hour to hour, day to day. But I want you to be kind of more structured in the beginning, because right now you have a hard time at boundaries. So you got to have boundaries with yourself first before you have boundaries with other people. So first of all, decide, I'm willing to give this much this month. I'm willing to give away this much for this price this year. Set your limits, okay? And I want you to stay by your limits. Again, if you don't have boundaries with yourself, you will not have boundaries with other people, okay? Tell them, I'm sorry, this is my budget, this is the price, this is what I'm doing, this is the limits for this time frame. If it changes, I'll let you know, but this is what I'm giving at this moment, okay? This comes also when it comes to dating. If you're dating somebody, tell them early on, I'm abstinent, okay? You may be abstinent until marriage if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, you may be abstinent until the third date. You may be abstinent until engagement. You may be abstinent until you're officially boyfriend, girlfriend. That's up to you. You set the price. You set the limit, okay? So decide what you're going to give before you meet the people, okay? Because you don't have boundaries right now. So if you meet people before you have boundaries, you'll just leak into all of them, and they'll just take over and consume you, okay? So before you interact with people, have your limits. Then I want you to decide who you want to deal with. Who do you want to give to? You may say, I want to give to single mothers right now. I want to help college students right now, or I want to sell this to this type of people right now, okay? Have your target audience. And then everybody else who's not that person, to say no. You may say, I don't date men who have this type of history. I don't date women who have chemical dependency issues. You decide before you even go out there. That way, when they come to you, when they flood you or your inbox, you already know, no, I've already decided I'm not going to date men with this type of background. I'm not going to date women with this type of, chemical dependency. So you already kind of know before you go out there, okay? Not saying you can't be flexible, but it's important for you in the beginning to kind of set boundaries and to stick to them, because you're trying to learn. You're actually learning a skill right now. You're learning a skill of setting boundaries and sticking to them. All right. The next thing I want you to decide is, the price range. What's the price range? What are you willing to give this good or this service up for, okay? How many hours are you willing to volunteer at this time, okay? So set your price range or set your time limit. If you're selling something, you need a price range. If you're volunteering, then you need a time limit, okay? A time frame. Some things to consider. We do not discount our prices based on market value. I don't care what the market charges. Well, the market only charges this much. We'll go to the markets. Go to the markets, okay? Well, Amazon charges this much. Log on to Amazon.com and buy that product, okay? Do not tell me what the market value is. I have already done the research of the market value. This is what I'm willing to sell for this amount, okay? All right? Another thing I want you to consider is do not get haggled down. Do not get haggled down for what you're selling, okay? There's a Bible verse. This is Proverbs 20:14. Bad, the buyer says, but when he goes away, he boasts, he bragging. He's like, I got this for like half off because I haggled her down. They's telling you it's not worth, bad, this ain't worth this much. Soon they walk away, they're laughing, they're mocking you, okay? So don't let anybody play in your face. Don't get haggled down below what you already decided to give. Even if it's too much, you may look at the market value and be like, oh, I probably did charge a little too much. But for this person, no, the price is the price. Goodbye, all right? All right, we do not change the price based on their poverty level, on their brokenness, okay? Some women will be like, I mean, he couldn't afford, he just couldn't do it. The price is a price. Goodbye. I require this much. You may say, I require you to do this much on Valentine's Day or anniversaries or birthdays or dates, first dates or whatever. The price is a price. Goodbye. You may tell them, I'm sorry you're broke, but I'm not going to go Netflix and chill at your house on the first date. The price is a price. I'm not going to your house on the first date to Netflix and chill. Goodbye. Okay? Set your price, all right? Do not change your price because they're broke. If they're broke, they probably shouldn't be dating. They probably shouldn't be shopping, okay? They should be looking for, another job. Okay, another thing I want you to consider, it doesn't matter if it's not popular in demand. You've seen these manosphere, alpha male podcasters. You're over 30. You're a single mother. You're over 40. Nobody wants you. You're gonna die. You're gonna pass away with cats. A house full of cats. They try to make you feel like you're out of style. You're out of, you're not popular. You're not in vogue right now. So they try to make you haggle your price down. I don't care if I'm out of style. The price is a price. Goodbye. All right. Another thing I want you to consider is the reason you have to do this is because you will be resentful and bitter if you don't do this. If you don't follow these types of rules around boundaries and setting, standards around yourself, you will become resentful. Okay. You will become resentful because you will feel cheated. Like again, I said Proverbs 20:14. Bad, the buyer says, but when he goes away, he's boasting. You want me to wait to have sex with you? You a single mama. Then you go have sex with him. Then he go around texting his friend. I hit it on the first date. They laughing at you, okay? They're going to make fun of you. So people don't respect you when you don't set boundaries. People, they make fun of you. They mock you when you don't set boundaries, okay? They will respect you if you say, the price is a price, goodbye, all right? All right? You will lose and they will win. You will lose and they will win. Now, we should be humble, especially as Christians, but I'm not going to lose alone like that. I'm not going to lose alone. If I lose, you're going to lose. You both going to lose. I'm not going to lose alone. You're not going to get over on me and say, girl, I got over on her. I got her stuff a half off. You're not going to get over on me. You both going to lose. I'm going to have it and I won't have your money and you won't have my product. But I'm not going to be played, okay? All right. Another thing is that you will be underappreciated. They want to appreciate it. They'll just give it to it for free. You work on this book. Let's say you work on this book for 10 years. The book is finally published. Then they get the book. Let's say you give it to them for $1. Then they toss the book in the back of their car. Won't even read the book. They want to appreciate it because they didn't have to pay for it. Okay. People don't. They say even you give anything away, even if it's like a track or something like that. They say charge something for it because people are more likely to read it when they had to pay. Even if it's a quarter, they're gonna read it because they're like, I put a quarter on this. I'm gonna go ahead and read this real quick. If it's free, they'll just throw it in the trash. So I always charge something for something that costs you value less. God tells you to get it away for free. All right, I need you to know your worth, you all. You need to know your worth, okay? You need to know your worth, and you need to add tax, okay? Because you're gonna always give more than you're getting, okay? For what you put into that thing, for the amount of hours you spend in school, the amount of hours you spend studying, researching, reading. I do photography on this side. The amount of time I spend editing photos, I'm paying for my website, my camera equipment. Yeah, that takes money, okay? And you have to charge for that, okay? Know your worth, because you will end up paying more than what you're actually getting for, okay? All right, and that's actually called the curse of knowledge. When you as a creator, as a seller, you know how much your stuff costs. You know how much it took you, but they don't know, okay? And they don't have to know, but they should at least respect you and trust you enough to know that you're not going to try to get over on them, not necessarily. Some people do, but not necessarily, okay? All right, so again, you all, I need you to set your prices before you meet people, because you're so like codependent that as soon as they say, well, man, I got on me is $20. Why give it to you for $20? You're so codependent and people pleasing that if you don't set your boundary before you go out there in front of people, they will take over you and you be sitting there empty hands and empty pockets. Okay. Don't go out with empty hands and empty pockets. If your hands gonna be empty, your pocket need to be full. Okay. And if their hands are full of your stuff, their pockets should be a little lighter. Okay. So yes, you all, you deserve something for what you put out. Okay. You have value, you have worth. Okay. You are created in the image of God. You were created in the image of God. You deserve some type of compensation. Okay. You deserve some compensation. Thanks for watching, guys. Buy my book on Amazon, Gaslit: Escape from the Narcissist Pit. Bye.